I had a friend tell me that life is too short to go to shit I don't want to go to and hang with people I don't want to hang with. And she said this because I invited her to some place with some people who she did not like. And I was like, well, you're just coming to be with me and hang out with me. And she said, yeah, but you're hanging out with people who I don't like. Life is too short. And that's what she told me. Life is too short to do shit you don't want to do or hang with people you don't like. And let's be honest, that's exactly what she would have been doing.
That's a bad example, S&M. That's a bad example.
Well, you're saying it's a bad example because I used a friend versus husband and wife.
Thank you. Come on, man. Stop playing. You've been to stuff probably recently with your husband that he didn't want to go to because he was your husband. You went to it, or vice versa. Men do that shit all the time. And I'm sorry. Listen, let me move you aside because you're not a man. And I guess I get it. No, for real. Like listen. I play the deference game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my wife. You know what I'm saying? You know, she rules my universe and all that other kind of shit. Right? There's some niggas who do that. And they really be on that type of time. And there's some niggas who do it because it's part of the game, right? Like, you know, Steph Curry might say, yeah, you know what, God gave me these skills, you was my teammates. But the truth is, he's the one that went out there and scored 57 fucking points, okay? Right? So what I'm saying is, I could look at Barack and tell you he's a ladder. So when he was actually saying it, right, it was some truth to it. I can see that type of behavior. It wasn't just him, you know, just being cute. No. Going into it, he was paying for that deficit from jump. You know what I'm saying? From jump. And he's still paying it is what I'm saying. You dig what I'm saying? There's some guys who say it and that's what it is. There's some guys who say that's not really what it is. They're just giving it the little proper due and respect. And I'm telling you, from what I could tell, he's further. So what I'm willing to probably put a stake on though, is that she still feels some type of way about all that, and he is still having to deal with it. I'd put money on that. Now, the level of which they're dealing with it, whether it's divorce or otherwise, it remains to be seen. But I just feel like we're in a new age, y'all. Things are changing and evolving. More people are getting divorced as they go along. They're not staying together just because they have to be together anymore. So I would not be surprised if more is revealed. And if it does get revealed that she, in fact, or they do get, in fact, divorced, then I want y'all to be like, you know what? Not that I was wrong. I want you to say, Nick, you was right. You know what I'm saying? We'll never know necessarily the reason, right? Because there's a difference between admitting that you're wrong and admitting that I'm right. And as much as I appreciate a person taking accountability for being wrong, I think I like being right a little bit better. It could be like a sandwich of both of those things. I wish them the best because low-key, I fuck with both of them. But honestly, though, and S&M, to push back on your last point, it's resting. I think somebody was saying something about a statistic about how resting bitch face affects people's health and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, it's possible she actually could feel upset about a thing and her face betrayed her. It's completely possible. This idea of leaning on anytime a nigga say something that might be specific about a person. I didn't say all black women, but I'm identifying that every time I've seen what was a scowl on her face, I thought to myself, she's mad. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't help that while she was the first lady, there was a lot for her to probably feel upset about. People were talking about her hair, her arms, and how she was wearing her clothes. So I get that. You dig what I'm saying? And listen, my wife has a face that sometimes causes me to ask her, is she okay? You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real vulnerable. Like sometimes when her mood is shifting, the reason why I ask her, is she all right, is because my mood has shifted. Like she has the ability to shift my mood. So I tap in with her to see if she's all right. Because if she's not all right, then my whole brain is going to switch up a little bit, right? The other day she called me, hey, can you come outside? I'm thinking something is up. So I have a certain level of reception with her, right? So what I'm saying is that y'all discount how certain things affect us. And sometimes, especially, God bless that it's just a face thing and not like a woman thing, right? But those types of things affect us men. Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't take for granted the level of how lack of support shows itself and how it can grate over time. Especially when you juxtapose that with what would seem as a noble thing, which is to want to be president of the United States. Not only that, but the first black president of the United States. Not only that, but somebody who's been trying to make a difference from day one. So how are you holding that thing in any way, shape, or form, even a little bit? Because maybe you didn't know the nigga that you married. That's Barry Hussein Obama that you married. And this many years later, you still tripping? All right, y'all, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? I do think she's still tripping. I'll stand on that one. 1,000%. Yeah. And while she's trying to do some face exercises. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta live like that. You don't gotta live like that. Try smiling a little bit more. That's right, and Nick said it. Any last words before I kiss
this
anybody
my
else?
last word. This my last word. You know, a lot of women, we actually get upset when people tell us to smile more.
We can't win. We call out the rest of bitch face. We problem solvers and solutions oriented. And now
no, it's because because there's an expectation for women in general to be smiley, to be this jovial person.
Pleasant.
And so that's where that originates. But anyways, moving on. Jay, I saw you pop off mic. Let's go ahead and pass it to you, sir.
No, man. No. I can't follow all of that. Was a lot. That was a lot. I will just say, yeah, I like Michelle. She aight. But you know, your choice of mate is either going to propel you toward where you're trying to go, or it's going to be the thing that holds you back, right? Which is why I am cautious about the dating and the marrying. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but timing is important. So all I'm saying is, I can't argue with Nick and his argument about purpose. I don't know if Michelle's holding him back. There's a lot of supposition in his whole argument, right? They might end up divorced. Honestly, by the time he finished talking, I was like, shit, maybe they are getting divorced because, he probably made a deal in Chicago that got him elected and she know about it. I got a whole novel I wrote in my head. So maybe, I don't know. But what I do know is this. I know it's not over until they say it's over. So everybody who believes in love and marriage and believes in them as a couple or them as individuals, right, should hopefully be pushing a narrative of unity and strength for the people that you believe in. Yeah.
Listen, man, I love and marriage, but I don't want people staying in marriages just for the fuck of it. At 33 years, they already got a W as far as I'm concerned. And if it's time,
that's a win.
And if it's time for them to move apart, like they had the kids and then became president, I am not mad at that. I'm not wishing for it, okay? But I just don't think people should necessarily stay in relationships after they already got the W just for the sake of staying in there. And you got to imagine, like, how many other presidents have been divorced? Have there been like other presidents, like past presidents or otherwise? I feel like has there been any of them?
I can't think of one.
Like at least in recent times, right? I mean, Hillary and still them stay together. He got some money. She ain't going nowhere, right? Barack can't even get no head, right? But he's just
working
anyways.
Huh? She stood by her man.
She was standing by her goals, right? Hillary Clinton had purpose. Stop playing, okay?
Woman of purpose.
And Bill understood the assignment, kinda. Any final thoughts? Because he was tripping when he got caught with the whole head thing and leaving nut stains everywhere. But he's like, "Come on, fam, the presidential napkins are right."
Presidential towelette.
Just lazy, sir.
The presidential baby wipes with the seal and everything, sir. They were right there. All you had to do was wipe off. Oh, and one last thing, though. Do y'all think that the Obamas are like any different than any other celebrity that people guesstimate or question whether or not they're in a relationship still? Like, doesn't this typically happen with almost every other celebrity? Like, aren't they still technically celebrities? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so why should it not happen to them? Right? If they profiting from their celebrity, then they got to deal with the backlash or the rumors that come with it.
Unfortunately.
You know what I'm saying? And the one telling sign to me, and I don't know that I like that Michelle did this though, which is also why I feel like there's more to it, and I'll land with this as far as the story, then we can wrap up. But when she was telling, like, there are some times that it's not about, a woman's representation. I get that. Maybe that's your bag all the time. But maybe it was simply, hey, this was an event that people expected the president and their wife to show up at. And when you did not show up at the event, it raised questions. Because guess what? You were at almost all the other events. It could be that simple. But when she did that, though, I kind of felt like, I get it, but it could have just been like a little red herring to kind of throw the conversation, because I don't know, how in depth she was going to allow the conversation to go. But it's easy to talk about how there's different expectations. Okay, in this case, you was the first lady. So yeah, your expectations in that description is going to show up differently, right? But if you're talking about women in general, it is a broader conversation to be had. But I think she tried to pull a rabbit out of her wahoo, and I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say no. Like, woo, feminism. Oh yeah, well, what else? Racism. Whatever. She was just pulling all kinds of tricks out of her bag.